Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, and holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing. If you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I was muted there for a second. Don't worry. I was just saying, hold on one second. We're about ready to go. But now you can hear me. Don't you worry about it. I hope you're having a wonderful evening tonight. Why don't you tell me what you had for dinner? If you didn't like what you had for dinner, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. We have quite the case, quite the case. And I got it by magic. That's all I can say. It was magic, baby. Oh, you're so sweet. I actually concur a little bit. Chicken Alfredo. Barbecue chicken wings. Beef stroganoff. That's pretty much it so far. Anyways, so the day is a little bit young, but a little bit old, just like me. And we have ourselves a doozy of a case. I'll tell you that right now. We are going to see a new judge for me or the channel. But I'm pretty positive she's been featured by other courts. I don't know though. But I'll talk about that at the end. How's that? And then so this is a child support hearing. There's no animal abuse. Yes, it is much less heavy than yesterday. Broccoli and rice sounds super nice. I'd take it with a little soy sauce. I know, I'm sick of cooking as well. Oh. I mean, not high enough, how are you? That's the fucking truth. So, breakfast for dinner sounds pretty good. I've been fasting, you guys. I've been doing intermittent fasting, which means I can eat from 2 p.m. till 10 p.m. And that sounds pretty late, but I chose it. It's my idea. I told you we're gonna get some of this jiggle, jiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Before Christmas when I can pack it all on again in cheese. So, you know, all in good yo-yo faith. But, intermittent fasting is supposed to work. And it is very, very standard. That by the time you get to the time that you stop, that you're allowed to eat. Oh! Streamlabs? Wow. First of all, Casey Carey, thank you so much. Obviously Streamlabs likes you. That's the quickest I've seen Streamlabs act in a year. Seriously, what was that? The clerk at the dispensary was 3 days into a week-long fast when you stopped in last time. Okay, that's intense. Here's what I can do. I can make it through to 2 o'clock without eating, but I sleep in a lot. And lucky for me, my job allows me to do that. my job. But I could like finish eating earlier and stop. But the whole point is that apparently it helps you lose weight and you can eat what you want in between. This is the caveat for me. I know how to lose weight, but that's not fun. AKA, I'm waiting till I get paid so I can buy my gym membership again. That's the reality. And then it's on. It's in gear. But regardless to say, the reason I thought of that when Vicky said breakfast for dinner was I have had no desire for breakfast food at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Shocking. When I normally do. But I know Casey Carey, but I want to be able to run again. I like running. I like biking. I like going to the gym. It's very good for my ADHD. If I lose not a pound, but I go and I exercise the way I want to and need to, then it'll be better for me anyways. It's the one thing that I know. It's like the cheapest medicine for ADHD. I don't know if I can check that, John. I don't know. But we'll let you know when you turn gray. When John turns gray, we'll mark the day, and we will say, oh no, baby. Okay, Paige, that's enough of that. Stop your yammering. Get playing the videos. What did you title these? I titled it Heart Attack Child Support Part 1. There's 3 parts. 3 parts. Let's get going.
We're now live streaming on YouTube. This is Judge Dulce.
We are indeed live. Is purple okay, you guys? And I appreciate everyone saying I look okay. I appreciate that. I love that. I agree. I do look okay from approximately here up. No, in reality, it's mostly about how I want to feel. And I know that I feel better when I work out like that. I don't, believe me, you guys. It's more the like doing the same thing every day. You know what I'm saying? But cardio health, yes, that's the most important. And that's what I want to be able to do. So it's not about the weight. It's more about the routine and getting my Fitbit. Like I wear a Fitbit all the time. I have cardio history for like the last 8 years. And so I can just tell that I want to work out more. Anywho, this lady, I believe, I believe that she's chewing gum. Is that, I don't know what it is. We've had people with like cheek disfigurements. I don't know. I feel bad. But I'm not sure if that's what this is or if she's chewing. She appears, she's mewing. She's been mewing for a while. If you don't know what mewing is, we did a members only recently where we taught you how to mew. Yeah. It was Skibbity Toilet. Or no, it was Skibbity. Oh, shit. I'm so old, but I love it. Okay. Anyways, I think she's chewing gum. This is the beginning. Then, yeah, anyways, let's just go.
Legal. I'm hearing cases today for Hays County on Thursday, September 12th, 2024 by Zoom. I will now call the cause number 210529. Present are both the non-custodial parent and custodial parent. Mr. Acco, go ahead and announce yourself with your full legal name.
Calabaya Fairman Akko.
Thank you. And same for you, Ms. Garcia Acco.
Tina Marie Garcia Acco.
I need to swear you all in. If you raise your right hands, both of you for me. Do each of you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, starting with you, sir?
Yes.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. You're aware that I'm an associate judge. I've been appointed to hear the cases filed by the Attorney General's Child Support Unit. My record is a digital recorder. Please talk loud enough for the recorder to pick up. No ahas or ahs, no nodding or shaking your head. We're live streaming on YouTube. I think you're aware of that. Have you been before me before? I am required as a requirement of the open courts provisions or our constitution to be available to the public, and the way they've done it on Zoom is by live streaming on YouTube. So it is being, if anybody's watching at this late hour, they're allowed to. Do not record these proceedings, Mr. Acco, Ms. Garcia. It would be a violation of our laws, subject to contempt of court, punishable by a fine or a jail sentence. And that does apply to anybody here in the courtroom, the virtual courtroom, and or observing through the YouTube app. Do not record. Let me move on to Mr. Asif. You've got an opening statement, I assume, for me, after announcing yourself, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, this is Maz Asif for the state of Texas. We're here today on the state's suit for modification of support order and motion to confirm support arrearage. Before we get started into terms, I want to discuss the matter of arrears. The state has submitted to this court the financial activity report for this case. And the state's
Did you send
position-
it by email?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm not there yet, but when I need to review it, I will take judicial notice that you sent me the pay record if you want me to review it. You might have to screen share it as the quickest way. Otherwise, I have to stop and open my email and go look at it myself.
Yes,
But
Your
anyway,
Honor.
go ahead.
So the state will be asking for a judgment. The state is requesting a judgment on arrears as of August 31st, 2024 of $7,298.71 to be repaid at a rate of $91 a month, with payments to begin on October 1st, 2024. Mr. Acco is not in agreement. He feels he should not have to pay this amount. Ms. Garcia has issues with the judgment date. She wants a judgment date as of September 1st. Okay, now with respect to the
Now,
medical.
why would that matter at all? Do you have any idea, Mr. Asif?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Excuse me. Okay. Ms. Garcia, you don't get to dictate what we do here as far as dates and what have you. You don't lose one single penny whether I do it August 31st or September 1st. September 1st has the new accrual amount, which is, yeah, might be due if it's due on the 1st, but it's not considered delinquent till the 30th or 31st. And at the end of the month, the interest accrues. So we go to August 31st, they put it on their computer. You haven't lost a penny because September 1st, they'll put the new amounts and it keeps rolling. The computer keeps track of all of that. And with interest at the end of every month if there's arrears. So I'm not sure why we're going to have a fight about that, but I just want you to be aware of what the situation is before I cut you off on that, because it doesn't matter what you want and you don't lose a penny. So Mr. Asif, go ahead and finish your opening.
Yes, Your Honor. So with respect to the medical support issue, both Ms. Garcia and Mr. Acco would like the child to be on their health and dental insurance. Ms. Garcia is requesting that the child be on her dental insurance, and then Mr. Acco be ordered to pay cash medical support of $792.08, as well as
Okay, what? Cash medical support of how much?
$792.08, Your Honor.
Is that anywhere near the 9% cap or above it?
The states understand. Mr. Acco's position is his gross monthly resources are $3,000.
Did you see what happened there at the very end? Did you see what happened there at the very end? It said, this is unavailable. And Paisley
We're now live streaming on
wept
YouTube. This
a
is Judge
little
Dulce.
bit because she had already got the end of this case. And she said, and she had gone to the beginning. And then the fucking gray screen of death popped up. But then the gloriousness that makes Paisley lucky today, she walks over in dismay to her other computer, and for some reason that hearing was on there, and I was like, is it gonna let me play it? I mean, it just stopped it on the other computer. Why wouldn't it stop it on this one? Bitches, it let me play it. It let me record the whole rest of it. We got the whole motherfucking thing. I was amazed.
$8.32.
So there's a dispute about his income according to.
Yes, Your Honor, there is a dispute.
And is there going to be any real evidence on that, or is it just going to be the he said, she said?
I believe Mr. Acco has a pay stub that he's submitting to the court.
And what does Ms. Garcia have?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Are you prepared to show any evidence of whatever you think he earns, ma'am? Or is it
Am
just?
I prepared to show? I know absolutely nothing about what he makes, but what I do know is that he has 30 years in a field where he is more than capable of making what he was previously making, if not more.
Okay, okay.
So for him to go and take a job that's less paying than what he was previously making, how is that fair?
Okay, so you're gonna be alleging that he's underemployed because somewhere along the line there is proof that he made more? Is that what you're saying?
Honestly, I have every reason to believe that he was working 2 jobs last time we were actually in court.
This isn't gonna be no 45-minute case, people. And Mr. Acco, if I do agree,
Yes.
if Ms. Garcia prevails and you have the right of appeal, will you be appealing my decision to a higher court, the district court level?
Yep.
Ms. Garcia, if I don't rule your way and Mr. Acco prevails, will you be appealing to a higher court to the
Oh,
district?
I'm
court
not
level?
giving in because I'm the one that has been doing everything that a parent should be doing.
Okay, then that's your right and that's your obligation and advocacy, but it seems to me it'd be a waste of my time today to give you 45 minutes, cut you short, and you don't get to tell all of it, and then you lose, one of you's gonna lose, and then you're gonna appeal me anyway. I'm not sure I wanna hear it. Mr. Asif, is there any reason I shouldn't refer it to district court? Because these folks, I believe, if they've been here several times, it's not over with whatever I decide to do today, it looks like. So they're adequate advocates for themselves. I don't see why they can't
Sure.
just take it to the district court level and let somebody up there.
Yeah, Your Honor, the state has no position on that. We're not in favor, nor do we object to a referral to district court.
You know, I usually don't send pro se's over there, but if this is that contested and that what's the word? Well,
Your Honor, if I may, perhaps we could get some temporary orders prior to the referral.
we don't even have temporary orders yet.
We
You
do
have
have temporary orders in place, but perhaps we
place.
can amend the terms to reflect the current situation before referring upwards.
Well, I would consider that if we can squeeze it in the next 40 minutes, okay? But for a final, I would refer it. I'm not hearing this dispute with the right of appeal where y'all are gonna go somewhere else anyway, so I'll let you go there and have one bite at the apple for the final order. Okay, proceed on whatever issues I need to decide on the temporary orders, Mr. Asif. The same day.
Your Honor, there's also some complications here. It's my understanding that Mr. Acco lives in Hawaii. He won't be able to remotely appear in district court in Hays County. So that might be somewhat problematic if we refer to district court. Also, I'm not convinced that the issues are sufficiently complex. That we have some dispute over income, but we can subpoena Mr. Acco's pay stubs and W-2 forms and get to the bottom of that issue. I'm thinking a reset with a priority hearing would be more appropriate.
I would agree with you at this late hour. Did you all get that?
Also, you will see me come in with the mouse while I was recording it like a billion times because I was just incredulous that it kept working. I was like, it's gonna, I was praying that it did it. So I apologize for that, but that was Paisley of the past.
So on
So
that
you
level,
guys are
y'all,
gonna-
Let me start with you, Mr. Acco. Did you get
on
that?
that, yes, but on that level, if I'm making a certain amount that I'm making with my new employer, am I still responsible to pay that $915 a month, which I don't make as much as I did at Whole Foods?
Well, that's the question. The problem is that if you have a history of prior employment at a higher level, why should it go down if
It's-
the argument would be you're underemployed? So I'd have to
It's
hear
not,
that reason.
it has only gone down by $6 per hour. It hasn't gone down drastically. I make $22.15 an hour, and at Whole Foods I make $29 an hour. So it's only went down $6, $7. It hasn't gone down drastically on my pay.
Well, I haven't done the math, so I don't know how much $7 roughly, $7.15 difference would result in child support. Because it adds up 40 hours a week for 4.3 weeks per month. So I don't know, sir. So Ms. Garcia, are you
And-
saying one or the other is the right number, or those are both totally off because he does something else that you think he should be doing? at this
Whenever
time?
whenever he has a trade in a certain career, or we were together for 22 years. And he was doing that even before we met each other. He's been doing it ever since we've been divorced. So you're looking at about 30 years in this field. There's to be no reason why he cannot continue doing what he's doing, making what he was making.
So what level are you talking about? How much an hour, or what's the math?
I don't know what I honestly, I don't know what he was making.
Well, also,
What,
Your Honor,
hold on, what order are we trying to modify, Mr. Asif? The relevant time period from the last order to now and the changed circumstances?
Yes, Your Honor. So the temporary order, so there's a temporary order in place in this case. Let me just draw the exact dates for you. So we have a temporary order on this modification action that's titled, that was signed by this court on February 1st, 2024. My apologies, February 12th, 2024. It's called the Temporary Order in Suit for Modification of Support Order and to Confirm Support Arrearage.
Well, that's okay, but that's still part of this lawsuit, which we're trying to modify what order, the final order prior to the
Yes,
temporary order?
so the order prior is the divorce decree. The order prior to that is the divorce decree that was the agreed final degree of divorce. I'm reading it now. It states that the court held this case on June 18th, 2021.
So that's the one we're trying to modify, the divorce of 2021? And they don't have findings about income in that one?
I'm reading it right now, Your Honor.
I assume it's a Hayes County divorce, or no?
Yes, this was in Hayes County.
Okay,
May I say something?
you may as well. What, ma'am?
Whenever the last time that we were seen in your court, you guys had came up with a monthly amount of $915. And then the medical portion, you were stating that if he was to pay if I was to continue to keep them on my insurance, it was close to $500 that he would have been paying. Because you guys was not going to allow him to make that full payment for the medical and dental
It's not us,
expense.
it's the family code that sets the parameters, ma'am. So we try to apply the law because that's our jobs. The state has a position, ma'am may or may not agree with it. You have a position, I may or may not agree with it. But there is a cap on how much is considered reasonable, because you can go get the Cadillac of insurance and ask for $1,000 a month, but if the income is not there to support it as far as his income and the 9% gross of his income, that's what I'm required to follow. So just so you're aware of that. So what was your point of the temporary order?
What was pretty much set with the last court order, the temporary order, I'm asking that stays in place.
$915 in child support and $500 in medical support? Is that what you
Yes.
just, is that the case in that temporary order, Mr. Asif?
Yeah, those are the terms of the temporary order. That's correct.
Oh, and so it's Mr. Akko that wants some relief, whether it's temporary or final. And is he the one that's missing the documentation that you said we still need? You don't have W-2s or prior income from since the divorce?
Not from his
Can I
current
say
employer,
something,
Your
Your
Honor.
Not from his what?
Not from his current employer, Your Honor. We don't have anything with respect to that.
Well, it seems to me she's
I
arguing
just-
that he's underemployed, so all the income since the divorce is
Oh,
necessary to determine if he had a higher income and then is underemployed or not. But you
And
wouldn't have,
also, Your Honor, we're in.
Mr.
that was in
Asif, you
Texas
wouldn't
and
have
it's
the
got-
W-2s or tax returns from what year was it? 2021, mid 2021 forward?
I'm reviewing our records, Your Honor. I don't believe we have. Oh, I see we have some pay stubs from 2023.
But you don't have, is there a reason there's no tax returns been brought by Mr. Akko?
I'm not. Oh, here we go. Okay, Your Honor. I see a W-2. Okay, I see a W-2 for the year of 2023 for
What
Mr.
about
Akko.
2022 and 2020?
So I have the W-2 for 2023 as well as a pay stub from dated August 25th, 2023.
But you don't have a W-2 or tax return for 2022?
Not for 2022, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, what'd you want to say, Mr. Rocco, before I rudely interrupted you?
So I'm sorry, Your Honor. The pay from California and Texas is different than the pay here in Hawaii. So the pay for a meat cutter, I was making good money because my job title was a meat manager. And if there's no opportunity for a meat manager and the pay is different from California and Texas to Hawaii, the pay is a lot lower here in Hawaii. And there's not that much openings and opportunity for me to be a meat manager, considering there's like 1 million people on an island. So for me to go get
Well, he's on an even more remote island than I am, John, in the Pacific. But I do live on an island in the Pacific. Love that humble brag. If it's the only thing I get for how much money I spend in rent, I fucking exercise it a lot. In Texas, he had no state income tax. Wow. Well, I'm Canadian, so. But Hawaii, isn't that like tragically expensive to live in Hawaii like it is here? Also, isn't Hawaii the same time zone, or is it 1 hour behind Pacific? Well, I wonder, why did he go to Hawaii, right? Maybe he had a good reason. 3 hours behind Pacific? No way. No way. No. That can't be right. It's just not. It's not. I'm gonna have to fact check y'all.
A meat cutter job, the pays it's not going to be the same as the mainland. And what I was making in the mainland in Texas and California was our wages as a meat manager, not a meat cutter. And honestly, what I'm making now, $22.15, is about the average as a meat cutter.
And
A
why?
meat cutter here only
Find
makes
out, why'd you
$22
move to
an hour.
Hawaii? What was required that you had to leave the mainland to go back to Hawaii?
Why did I go back to Hawaii to start a new life in Hawaii?
Cause what?
Me and my girlfriend decided to move to Hawaii. We decided to, start a life in Hawaii. So we went in Hawaii, and
I can't hear you anymore.
As a store director, and that didn't.
I missed some of your testimony because it was being staticky or garbled or something. It wasn't coming through clear. I didn't.
So your question is why did I move from Texas to go to Hawaii? Is because me and my girlfriend currently made a decision to move to Hawaii.
And you knew it was going to be a lower pay rate, or even with the higher cost of living, probably?
It wasn't a lower pay rate. It was about the same pay rate, because I went in at that time when we moved, I went as a store director at Foodland, and that did not work out with store director at Foodland. And then I went on and I went to another job at Whole Foods, which I got terminated, and I got a lawsuit against them. But that's where I'm at. And then right now, Mrs. Garcia is asking me for arrears just to plead my case. As far as April, the ending of April, I had a heart attack. So April the 30th, I had an open heart surgery that was not released from my doctor, from my physician, to August the 5th. I could not go to work. I could not retain work because, like I said, on April the 30th, I had a major open heart surgery.
Okay, I've heard enough complications that I don't think I'm going to be able to start and finish. I'm trying to get to the bottom line with y'all's arguments, but it's real clear to me that, one, if she wants more because she thinks you're underemployed, then we need your wage information for all those years. Half of 21 after the divorce, all of 22, and 23 and whatever you have through 24. I need to see that. Did you file tax returns for the last 3 years?
No, I have not.
Were you employed at a salaried position?
Yes, I was. I did not file
So
taxes.
you got W-2s for each
Yes.
of those years?
Yes.
Why didn't you file for tax returns?
I just didn't file. There's no excuse for me.
But you can retrieve 2021 W-2, 2022 W-2, and 2023 W-2s? I think
I can't get it right. I can't get it right now, but I can do my homework and get it.
And for
Till 21, but
for 2024, whatever your comeback date is, you can get your last pay stub before you come back to court, with the year-to-date information?
I told the attorney that I took a screenshot that I could send it to his phone with my screenshot, and he would have my current pay stub. With for some reason it's not going through with the email, but I took a screenshot, and I just said if he supply me with his cell phone, I can screenshot him my current pay stub.
Is there any other way to do it, Mr. Asif?
Your Honor, I would rather not disclose my personal cell phone number.
No.
Because what I make is, like I said, I make $900 something a month gross. After $200 taken out of taxes, my net is only $700 and something a week. That's all I bring home. That is it. I mean, I don't bring them anymore. I bring them in. That's what I make every single week.
Okay, that's your argument for another day. I'm trying to figure out how we can get not the screenshot, but your actual pay stub. You can't scan it.
I mean, I can try to email it again, Your Honor, but like I said,
how are you going to get the W-2s? How are you going to send those?
I don't have the W-2s in front of me. I have the pay stub, my current pay stub in front of me. The W-2s, I got to do my homework, and I got to call all my previous employers from 21, 22, 23.
I'll just confirm I was wrong. Y'all were right. It is 3 hours. That's fucked up. But whatever. I find that hilarious. And that's why he's creed framing so much. Across the ocean, he is creed framing.
And get all those the W-2s and get those documents with me. I don't have the documents right now. Not saying to you,
whenever
I cannot get it.
Whenever you get them,
but I don't have a copy of my current pay stub from Pepsi that says.
Whenever you get them, you do need to send them in. But what I'm saying is,
why should?
So,
but how fair is it for me to pay $915 a month, which I'm not making?
That's for me to decide after I hear all the evidence, but I don't have all the evidence. You don't have all the evidence. You don't want to come back, but I don't see how else to do it if you want me to hear it, and I don't kick you up to district court. Again, we already spent, 30 minutes on this, and I've gotten nowhere closer, 22 minutes to be exact. The state has an email where you send all this stuff, and you can't find a different device or a different way of scanning it or going to somewhere that has.
This is the conversation that I think Mikey and Creed have right before shows. You can't get a different device, one that works, one that is not going to Creed frame constantly. Why can't you travel somewhere where they have no Creed frames? Creed, why? Why do you do it to us every day? Why? He has a magic computer that fucks up all the time. Creed's not here. Oh. Mikey's here, but Creed's not here.
better.
like I said, I can send it again and see if it goes through again, but
Well,
hold on for a moment.
it's too late for today. I don't need it for today, but when you send the W-2s, however you send them, you send that pay stub too, the year-to-date pay stub that's closer to the court
I
date.
I sent all my documents certified mail. I sent all my documents that you guys received as far as my doctor's note from my physician saying that when I'm supposed to go back to work, when I'm released. Every other documents I'm sending to you guys is certified mail, which I mailed it to you guys and you guys received it. So if I have to do the same thing with my W-2s and my pay stub, I will do that also. But right now, my thing is coming from is with Mrs. Garcia. I was making the same amount of money in California and Texas as a meat manager. I'm not a meat manager. There's not that much openings on the island that has.
You want to get to the argument of your case, and that's not where I'm at right now. So, Mr. Asif, have you received a certified mail envelope with all this stuff, and you still have it? I assume y'all don't get rid of documents, or at least not right away.
So I can confirm we have his W-2 for 2023. I can confirm that we have a pay stub from August of 2023 as well. Nothing as of today, I believe, nothing with respect to what his wages would be from his current employer.
What about the medical records that he said he had, doctors, something or other?
Medical records pertaining to his heart condition. I'm not certain, Your Honor. Let me take a look-see.
Take a little look-see in the file.
Judge, FYI, screenshots can be emailed.
Whoa, lady from the abyss.
Thank you.
It's usually my job to
Okay,
point
so I
it
can
out.
email you the screenshot right now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Well,
I'm
what
gonna
number
do
is he
that
gonna
right now.
use, Mr. Asif? Because, well, email, that's right. The CSD legal one?
That would
Let
be
me
the
go write that
appropriate one.
information.
Yes.
Hold on for a moment, man.
No, don't
What-
take your
what
time
is that?
doing it. I'm gonna set and give a different court date. I don't need it today. I need the one closer to another one. Do you have that one? Send it, fine, but not right now. That's gonna take too much time. Mr. Asif, did you find medical records? As part of the paper?
Pertaining to his condition, no, Your Honor. I'm looking through our records as we speak.
It's my tiny shoulders, Mikey. My tiny, dainty shoulders can't hold this up. But I'm at no risk of falling out. Gravity has gravitied. Everything that's gravitied is gravitied. So we just got shoulders out. I guess some people are into shoulders. Okay.
I sent you guys certified mail and you guys received it because you guys signed for it, stating that when I'm released, when was my surgery from Dr. Nakamura.
When did you do that? What day did you send it? Do you remember?
I sent it, man, I don't remember. I sent it maybe a month ago. I sent it with the documents that I had to fill out stating that, you know what I mean? Or it was a document from the court that it was 2 pages that I had to fill out and send it back to you guys, which I did that. And also I put in a copy of my paper from the physician saying that when I went in for surgery and what is my release date. I sent in a copy of my unemployment, which I applied for and got denied for it. I sent you guys a copy of that 2 pieces of paper from you guys, and somebody signed for it at the courthouse because or at the child support office because I send it certified mail.
Okay, when you say courthouse,
want, I can
and you
show you
said you send it to the AG, those
No.
are 2 different places,
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Alfo.
I send it to the child support office and they have it.
Okay,
Somebody
they're
at
not
the
the
child
court, they're
support
not the
office signed
courthouse.
for it.
They have a different address. That's where you send it to their mailing address.
Okay.
You gotta separate us. We're
Yes.
not the same place.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Asif, you're looking and looking, you still haven't found his
Okay.
medical?
No, Your Honor. I'm still looking.
Well, I can't wait for that either, but it would be important. Ms. Garcia, are you disputing that he even had a heart attack or open heart surgery? Is that gonna be an
No,
issue?
he had a heart attack, but just because he had a heart attack doesn't mean that his kids need stop. You know, it's
No,
going on.
no,
It's
but it
going
does
on
mean
9
that he
months
might
that I
not have
haven't
had income for a period of time. So do you?
Okay, then
You need to see
what's
those
the
medical
excuse?
records or not, Ms. Garcia? To believe
What was that?
anything? You need to see those medical records?
For the heart attack?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to see when he was actually released, to be honest with you.
Well, I would assume that would be a part of it, Mr. Akko. Is that, you would have sent it after your hospitalization and it would have said what day you were released on?
And the documents that I sent to the court.
To
from
the
from
AG's
the
office, not the
surgeon-
courts.
No, I'm sorry. The documents that I sent to the child support office specifically states what day I got operated on, what day, April the 30th, I got operated on, and it says specifically on August the 5th when I'm released to go back to work. That's
a
what it says
different
on the
date of-
documents.
A
But if
date
you
of
guys want, I
release
can-
from the hospital, is that part of the information that you sent? I assume so, that you didn't send it
That-
from a line in a hospital bed, did you? I mean, you waited till you got out and the
No.
records that you got would have had your discharge date. That's what she's asking for. Is that in there?
Not the only documents that I sent to the child support office, because she did not ask me for the information. Piece of paper that I sent to the child support office specifically states is when did I get operated on April the 30th, and what day am I released to go back to work from the physician.
There's
because
an
she wants me to pay the arrears.
intervening date of no longer being in a hospital bed or in a hospital, and that would have been a discharge date from the
I
hospital,
stayed in-
not just
I
a
stayed in the
release
hos-
date to go back to work. That should be part of your medical records. Are you saying it's just not? It skips
It-
from your heart surgery up to your release to
Ma'am,
work?
The reason why I send her the dates that I'm still not released from the doctor is because she's asking me for the arrears. That's the document.
Look,
that
I
sent
get
to the
that,
child
but one of
support
the
office.
issues too is what date were you out of the hospital? And you can't tell me if you know that date or not. Do you under test?
I was in the hospital. I had surgery on April the 30th. I was released 5 days later.
You
I
were only
stayed
in the
in the
hospital
hospital
5
for
days.
5 days.
Okay.
5 days later, I was released to the hospital.
Okay, you're
from the
under oath
hospital.
and you're on the record, so write that down, Ms. Garcia or State. Okay, Mr. Asif, no, nothing, you didn't find?
Hold on. Why does it make me inordinately happy that somebody in the world is watching me in an airport? Did I ever think that day would be? Of course it happens. Oh, why is that so funny? I hope you're doing well, MB. Love to see you. This is an interesting case. You're going to want to listen and lurk to the end of this because I find it interesting how the judge handles it.
And the medical records?
No, ma'am. We may have it, but I'm not
Okay.
certain.
Okay, well then help me pick a date to come back because it's already 4:20 and it's clear and you need more time than we've got today.
Yes, Your Honor. We have availability on our October 10th court date at 8:30.
Is there any reason y'all can't come back? And they have to be a priority, not at the end of the day, the first thing.
Yes,
I'm
Your
not
Honor.
gonna do this again.
I'll be sure to include in the reset order. It will be a priority hearing.
Then it should be well, it says 8:30 for y'all to come in, and if you need to share records at that point or whatever else, or talk for a minute, you can do that. But I show up at 9 o'clock to start a hearing. Well, actually, I'm here before then, but I won't start hearings till 9 o'clock when they're done with the.
Does that work in Hawaiian time?
No,
good
because it's
question.
5 hours behind you guys. So it will be, if it's 8:30, it would be at 3 o'clock in the morning.
We could do 10 a.m. as well. Our only
10:30?
docket times would be 8:30 and 10 a.m. Central Time.
So 10:30 our time would be what time his time? 5 o'clock?
5:30.
Your Honor, it would be 10 a.m. exactly.
Well, that would make
If
it
it's
5
10, if
o'clock
it's
his
10:30
time.
on you guys' time, it's 5:30 on our time. It's 5 hours behind.
When did they show up today, Mr. Asif, Mr. Ako?
I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to court, and that's what time I woke up this morning to go to court.
So if I say 1 o'clock, that would be what time? 8?
7. No, 8.
8 o'clock your time, there's no reason you can't be up and on the computer by 8 a.m., correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, then it'll be October 10th. In a few weeks on a Thursday at 1 o'clock p.m. as a priority. And that would
Now-
give me enough time to hear it and hopefully
Now
get rid of
from-
the other cases before y'all show up.
So from my knowledge, Your Honor, what kind of documents you need from me when I show up to court on the next month in October?
Well, we've been talking about, do I have to repeat W-2s for 2021, 2022? They said they have 2023, but if I were you, I'd send it again in case something happens to it. But 3 years worth, that would be the 3 years subsequent to after the divorce and the ones that you would have W-2s for.
So on that knowledge, Your Honor, I'm in Hawaii, and the jobs that I worked at to attain the W-2s is all the way in California. And like I said, I would have to call.
Sir, you are kidding. You can't be bitching about having to call to get your W-2s because you didn't file your taxes to a judge. Oh my God, some people are so dumb.
The places that I work at to arrange them to send me a W-2s and arrange a copy of the W-2s.
You
to
know who has
Hawaii.
your W-2s? The IRS, and you should have filed tax return. But they send W-2s to the IRS. I don't know if you can get it from them, but it's on you to try to find them. And that's why you're supposed to file taxes. If you want me to consider your income, I don't know how you prove it and talk to somebody, but all I can tell you is if you have W-2s, you need to try to get them. They only have one so far. And then for this year, there is no W-2. You have to work till the end of the year and you won't get the W-2 till January next year. So for this year, your year-to-date pay stub, as close to the court date as possible, you email it.
So my question to you is, I want to know the logical behind it of 2021, 22, 23, when the bottom line is that that's all wages.
Because
In
the
California and
last
Texas.
order that was entered that I'm trying to modify is the divorce decree from 2021. And what's relevant is all the time period since then. She's alleging you were making higher wages then and that you're underemployed now. Yes, I would have to see the higher wages. I'm not going to take her word for it or your word for it. I want to see what you actually made. And then for the pay stub, it helps me go through all the way to the court date so I can see obviously the lesser income now, but I have to buy into your argument that you had to move to Hawaii, you went underemployed or that you weren't underemployed and that you, I don't know what your reason is, but why you're not at the same job you were, and maybe your heart attack has something to do with it. I don't know. I've got to hear everything you present. And you need to have backup for everything you present because I'm tired of this he says, she says that y'all don't really know what you're talking about. And I don't have any records. I'm just tired of it. And this case has been here long enough to where I think you need to provide documents, Mr. Acco. It's your income. Ms. Garcia, if you have anything else you can find, because if he doesn't show up with it, I'm not creating it.
income.
I can't get it for you. I am not your investigator. I'm your judge, but you have to provide evidence, not me for you. I don't have access to anything.
Your Honor, nobody told me at the last hearing that we was on her that I got to supply W-2s from 2021.
Well, I'm telling you now because a big contested issue. And before y'all appeal me to another court, I want them to know I did my homework, that I required it, that I got to look at it, or whatever reason you may have is not available, that at least I forced you to try to bring it, because I'm not doing my job if I just say, okay, I'll take your word for it. No, I'm not. And Ms. Garcia, you're alleging something. I don't know if you can prove it or not if he doesn't, but on the other hand, it's your case to try to prove why he's underemployed too.
Now, while we switch to the next part of this, which is the final part, the third part, I want you guys to put your guesses in the chat. What does the AAG want? Why has he been raising his hand, putting it down, raising it, putting it down sideways, up, down, all around? Why is he raising his hand? Tell me why. I want to know what he is what he's going to ask the judge, And guess what? We're going to find out. This is not some exercise in futility. This is a real game that we're going to see. So get your guesses in right now. What does he need? Why has his hand been up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down? What do we think? Oh, I like this, Bill. This is probably the best answer thus far. I love it, love it, love it. Can't get enough of it. Do you think? Wow, that is audacious. Hi, roll on. Nice to see you. Let me get the last part of this here. Get your guesses in the chat. We're going to listen to this. It's going to just do a little.
Another court, I want them to know I did my homework, that I required it, that I got to look at it, or whatever reason you may have, it's not available, that at least I forced you to try to bring it, because I'm not doing my job if I just say, okay, I'll take your word for it. No, I'm not. And Ms. Garcia, you're alleging something. I don't know if you can prove it or not if he doesn't, but on the other hand, it's your case to try to prove why he's underemployed too. And so.
Understood.
Understood. Okay, then I'm not repeating myself. And if you want me to consider your medical records and they don't have them, then I think you need to send them again, including your discharge date, or I assume nobody's going to dispute that he was only in the hospital 5 days anyway, if it doesn't show up on a piece of paper. So Mr. Asif, I'll ask your office, and I don't know what you do with all those things that are emailed to you, where they go, but I assume you don't dispose of them till the cases are over. So I'm hoping it's somewhere that you just can't access right now, but it's some screen somewhere that you can find. But talk to the AG. If they don't find it, then yeah, send it again. I'm sorry, but it's cheaper than trying to fly over here to go to district court. If you want me to hear it, I need some evidence. Is there anything else?
As far as the temporary order.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not changing anything. I don't have time to hear it anymore to change it. So it still goes on. However, Ms. Garcia, well, was it a contested hearing on the temporary order, or was y'all agreed to it?
It was a contested hearing, Your Honor.
It was? I don't even remember it, but okay, fine. I'll look for my records too.
I'm just asking
anything
that it
else, Mr.
stays the
Asif?
same for right now.
You had your hand up, Mr. Asif. What else?
Your Honor, yes. May I retrieve my charger so I can charge my device?
Your what?
May I retrieve my charger, Your Honor?
May I retrieve my charger, Your Honor? I don't think anybody put that. I think that's a good lesson, AAG Asif, to bring your charger and keep it close by, because we got a group of people here who watch these hearings a lot, and nobody guessed that. Nobody guessed that. Oh my God. Like, why wouldn't he have just done it? Because he has too much respect for the court, Paisley. He has too much respect for the court. Hi, Cellulite Yoga Pants. Hi. Yeah, it's probably that. That's exactly it. That's the one. Oh, again, what a point. Such a good point. Guess what? This is not going to be the last weird request that he makes in this hearing. What? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you don't get dismissed? Yes.
Thank you.
Judge, I'll update you with results. I gotta go.
Yeah, either tell me tomorrow or email.
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that would be fine. Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez.
I'm sorry.
No problem. It's not an issue.
She's pissed off.
Your Honor, if I have to consult an attorney, how
Please
does that work?
do. That would help me if a lawyer.
Seems like,
What's the
now, can
question?
we extend this court date a little further for me to pay for an attorney and retain an attorney? Because I consulted with an attorney, and then he said that if it goes more than what it's supposed to go, and I'm under pressure to get whatever I need to get, that he'll be able to consult with him more.
Well, it doesn't bother me to set it later, so y'all are better prepared and have a lawyer. And it shouldn't bother you, Ms. Garcia, if you've got a temporary order in place that's not being changed. So is
If
there?
he has the money to consult with an attorney and hire an attorney, why is he having trouble paying his child support?
That's not the issue before me. The issue before me is if he can get a lawyer, I'd prefer him to get a lawyer to present actual evidence instead of him trying to flounder around and me trying to guess what's the truth is. So,
Okay, so he's stalling right now. So I'm asking to keep the October 10th date because I
That's
have
not,
open enrollments and whatnot coming up, and it's starting in the end of October through
a
December.
court order trumps the open enrollment. If there's a court order and it orders something, then that's a qualifying event to
I'm
start.
the only one that's supporting our kids right now.
I get that, Ms. Garcia, but I'm telling you, a court order is a qualifying event. Even if you miss open enrollment, you can still
Whenever
have
you
it
oversee
changed.
an entire agency, that's my role. So that's why I'm October 10th. I have nothing going on that week but preparing, so that's doable.
How likely you get a lawyer? Or just take more time to get back here, Mr. Rocco, if without a lawyer.
well, I just need to verify I just want to get as much information that knowing that, you know what I mean? That and take the consideration that I was in open heart surgery, that I could not work, I was not released from the doctor. It's one thing that I was not, I was released from the doctor, but I was not released from the doctor. And that's why I sent that document to the child support office, because I want them to know from April the 30th to August the 5th, I was not able to go back to work. From the physician's standpoint, I was not released from the doctor to go back to work. So on that note, is why am I liable to pay my child support?
Your 45 minutes are up. I'm leaving. And Mr. Asif, do you have another recommended date? I'm going to move it from October 10th. If he can get a lawyer, I want him to. And I'm not talking about December or November, or maybe mid-November at the latest.
Yes, Your Honor. Let me just
Your Honor, may I ask, why do you guys keep on giving him chance after chance? This isn't the first time that he's done this.
Ms. Garcia, you didn't. This is not the day to hear this case at 4:30 in the afternoon already. I'm barely
Well, I
starting.
understand that, but whenever you've dealt with a child going through cancer, you've dealt with a kid that was attacked by a dog upon other health issues and whatnot, and I've been stuck to
So you think today,
everything
right
on
now,
my
I would
own?
have raised your child support and raised your medical support? You really think I would have do that today
No,
on
but what
a
I'm
limited
saying is
case?
that even the lack of support that he's been doing and I haven't been receiving, this isn't the first time.
This is not for payments. I'm gonna order how much is the right amount if the temporary order isn't right. So this is not about him paying or not paying. He's still required to do that under any order. This is about getting it right now, and you all are both arguing two extremes. And I don't have enough except your word right now, and that's why I'm requiring more evidence. And if I give more time for better evidence, it would be in your interest if you can bring, or he can't produce the records and you can, versus the other way around. So I'm sorry, I've got to do what I've got to do, whether you like it or not. And right now I'm done. Mr. Asif, was there another date way before December?
Yes, Your Honor. I got logged out of my organization's VPN. May I retrieve my cellular device so I can log back in and retrieve the list of court dates?
Yes, sir, sure.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, we have availability on November 14th.
They're all Thursdays. That's when I hear Hayes cases for the party's information.
You know what's so weird? It's gonna get so weird, the scheduling of this. I would have normally cut this because they're just gonna settle on the date, right? Wrong. These people are snippy as fuck. And then I guess Maz gets something into his head here. He's not reading the room. Reading the room from the judge, she literally just said, I want to be done. Like, you don't want a judge in front of you like that. If she's trying to give you a continuance, any lawyer worth their fucking salt knows that you just run. You take the date and run. Your Honor, have your office schedule with our office. Like, you run. Because she's just as... She said, I missed the early bird dinner. my assistant had to go to the hospital, and I was gonna drive her or something, and now instead I'm sitting here with y'all. Believe me, she's pissed. She's pissed. She's been saying it the entire time. This was a 45-minute non-hearing, is what this was. This was 45 minutes of her saying, we are not doing this.
And I could do the same thing at 1 o'clock as a priority, Mr.
We can't do 1 p.m., Your Honor. The only times we have available are 8:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m.
No, that's because I set those times for my calendar, but I'm telling you, I want it at 1 o'clock so he can show up without having to wake up at 5 in the morning. Nobody else was asked to do that. And so that he's, I guess, hopefully clear-headed, and that we start because we finished the morning docket. So I don't care what your computer says or what anybody else says. My docket, I'm setting it as a priority at 1 o'clock. And
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
put the order to say that, and for y'all to be ready to go. Don't negotiate 2 hours or 3 hours or 5 hours. I need to have it ready to go, and y'all prepared, everybody prepared at 1 o'clock on November 14th. And hopefully I will be done with all the other settings prior to that.
Yes,
All
Your Honor.
right, so I would like to confirm that 9:15 is going to stand, as well as the amount for the medical expenses.
I didn't touch the temporary order. I'm not changing it today. So right now it does continue under the last order, which is that's the temporary order. Then yes, ma'am, it does continue.
Okay, can I please make sure that the amount for the medical is included on top of that, please?
Mr. Asif, I don't know what the order says. I haven't read it. She's told me what she thinks it says. Are you confirming this, what she just said? The amount?
Your Honor, if Ms. Garcia's position is for the terms of the temporary order to remain in place, I mean, that is precisely what's going to happen if you reset this
Well, I
matter.
don't agree with that. What happens if I don't agree with?
I'm
because it's not
resetting
what
you so
I'm
you can
making
bring
up.
in evidence, even if you don't agree with it, because I'm not hearing it right now. It's too late to hear it. I'll be here till 10 o'clock tonight if I open the door to this,
So-
or even 8 o'clock. I'm not doing it. I've already had a very long
So
day,
how-
and I'm very
how-
not
fair is
I'm
that
not
for me
able
to
to go
pay?
forward.
Then you know what? Let's just keep the October date because I'm not going to pay $900-something a month, which I'm on not
Okay,
making that
then
amount of
you
money.
do your homework, you get a lawyer as quick as you can if you're gonna do that, and you get your W-2s, and then we'll be ready to go October 10th at
Okay.
1 o'clock. That's fine. And I'm not gonna repeat the order because I don't have the order, so whatever it says, it's a temporary order, ma'am. It's signed, it's on the record, it continues. I don't know what more you need to hear from me.
Well,
I'm
here's
done.
the-
That concludes this hearing.
Here's the
Ma'am?
deal, because what happened was with the medical is that he was refusing to pay the amount. Well, the
I'm-
amount that you guys had ordered.
Ma'am, I reset it. Nothing
Well,
else you can
but
say is
here's the
gonna
di-
change the order that's already in effect.
Oh my God. If you let me finish, please. Because what we did is that we took the girls off of my insurance that they had been on, that I had been paying for previously, because he was not going to pay the amount that was being asked for. And he was able to get it cheaper through his employer, which was fine, but he can't hold down a job to keep the girls on insurance.
I'll hear it October 10th. I can't change it today, just like you don't want me to change the child support and he wants to change. I can't change it either way. I didn't finish hearing the evidence. I'm not going to finish hearing the evidence. I need to hear it on October 10th. I'll leave the
Okay,
original
can you
date
put
at
something
1
in there,
o'clock.
at least $400 for the medical expenses for right now? To be included, because right now it's 800
I
and something
can't
dollars.
change the order without having a full-blown hearing. What part have you not understood, Ms. Garcia? I'm not going forward right now. So you get to keep the higher child support, then it gets to stay with whatever insurance is said. I haven't modified it yet. I haven't heard the evidence to modify it yet. I'm resetting this. That's all I'm doing is resetting it. So what's in effect is in effect, and I'll hear it October 10th at 1 o'clock. That's what I can tell you. Anything else, Mr. Asif?
Your Honor, I'm requesting that we hold the hearing.
What should miss? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Law school pop quiz. When the judge has just gone off like that and she asks you, is there anything else? What do you say? What do you say? The answer should be very simple here. It is fucking no. Nothing. Nothing. Thank you. I'm sorry. have a great day. I would accept have a great day. I would accept goodbye. I would accept nothing. I would accept a head shake. Okay? I would accept almost anything, any of those answers. I bet nobody's gonna guess what he fucking comes up with. And I don't know if it speaks to his brilliant legal mind or plain stupidity, allegedly. Fucking prepare yourselves.
We have one of our, at either 8:30 or 10:30 a.m. Mr. Aka was the one who chose to move to Hawaii, knowing that he could possibly be in court for this. So I feel as if that would not be proper to have at 1 p.m.
Why not?
Mr. Aka was the one who chose to move to Hawaii, knowing that he had a court date.
I'm talking about my docket, Mr. Asif.
Yes, Your Honor.
Cases earlier might be 20 cases. I got to get those done before I talk to these people.
Yes, Your
If
Honor.
I talk to these people at 8:30 or 10:30, then I'm postponing 20 other cases. I can't do that either. This is my setting at 1 o'clock. I don't care that he's in Hawaii. I'm gonna let him sleep like everybody else gets to.
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's gonna stay at 1 o'clock whether the state objects or not. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
I'm done. Bye. Y'all check out and we'll see you October 10th at 1 o'clock. You have any questions, you call the AG. You cannot call the court. And bring
That was
evidence,
October
both of you.
10th, Your Honor?
What?
Just to clarify the date, that was October 10th, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. October 10th at 1 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Do not call, is what she just said. Don't call me. Don't call the court. Don't call my assistant. Fuck right off, is what she said. What in the fuck? Why was that like that? Why would he do that? There was no reason for that. That was so odd. So odd. Oh, insane. October 10th sounds like a date I am gonna have to put into the calendar, allegedly. Oh, roll on G. Here's the tongue ring story of the day. So, as you can tell, you guys, I love to talk. I love to talk. I do. Guilty. And when I was 18 years old, I went with some friends to get my tongue pierced at this piercing place. And legally, I was allowed to get my tongue pierced, and I was with two guys, and the piercer asked me, he said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I said, "Yeah, no, I really am sure." And then when I went back by myself, like with him, he's like, "No, seriously, do you really want to do this? Like, you don't have to do this if you don't want to." And I was like, "No, I really want to do this." He goes, "You know, you can't talk when the healing, all this." I'm like, I got it. You know, in my lifetime, there's been nothing that's kept me from talking. And I got my tongue pierced and immediately knew I had made a mistake. I was like, "Oh, I made a terrible error." And I could not talk for a while. And I became obsessed with playing with my tongue ring in my mouth to the point where I chipped my front tooth. But the good news is it's not that bad. And it healed over very nicely when I finally took it out. Unlike my belly button ring, which is still a hole. It's this hole that won't close. And I remember just thinking, I am so dumb, but we got through it. Very funny. And plastic ends would have been smart. I just was like, just playing with it constantly. And I had to work. Oh, I didn't have the joy of not working. My dumb ass had to go to work. I was working at a bank. Oh yeah, stupid. Anyways. But yeah. I hope life is an adventure, isn't it? I hope you guys have had a wonderful night. I mean, obviously, we had a bit of a better day than these people did over here. I like this judge. I would love to see her in the morning. You know? I would like to see her in the morning. Oh my god, roll on G. I worked at a call center right after I worked at the bank. Funny. I hated working at the call center. Hated it. If they had paid me a lot of money, I would have worked there happily, but they didn't pay me a lot of money. But they had a very cool system where you could like sign up for overtime anytime. And they're open 24 hours. So when it's as simple as a kiosk in the lunchroom to pick up an extra half hour to however much of OT, you fucking do it. I worked quite a bit when I worked there. I liked that system. Anyways, you guys, I don't have another case for us because this one was just sliding in at the last minute. But we will be back tomorrow. And guess what else? It's slap fights this weekend, okay? So that means that we have pre-game party before, and then we will go over to slap fights over on Credence and Mikey and watch them. I'm on the Discord. I think we have a link. I'm sure we have. Haven't I put a Discord link in before? Somebody, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, do women do slap fighting? Good question. Does that one work? They apparently do when they, hold on, I'll get a Discord link. I'll put a fucking Discord link in the goddamn chat. Give me 1 minute. And that will be that. It expires every week for safety and security. But don't you worry. I got a new one for thee. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. There it is. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to say I love you. I am proud of you. Yeah, that's you I'm talking to. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Ways down and ready to